Good morning, wherever you are in the world, people. My name is Prash K, host and founder of Urban Spirituality and Stress to Success. And I'm delighted to welcome a very, very special guest to the show. Somebody if you are in the fields of spirituality, philosophy, personal transformation, and if you happen to be working in a lot of big corporations, you may have heard her name already. But this is the wonderful one and only Jaya Row. She hails from India. She has spent nearly 5 decades dedicated to serving the community in spreading the wisdom of the ancient East, specifically Vedanta and the Vedas. She's delivered over 10,000 programs over 20 countries. She is one of the most powerful speakers on Vedanta and the Bhagavad Gita. She tours the UK, the US, and other countries regularly. She's spoken at many, many prestigious organizations, including Google, MasterCard, Apple, the World Economic Forum, the World Bank, and many universities. She is dedicated to bringing the passionate wisdom of the East in a way that is relevant and applicable to us today. Please say hello to Miss Jaya Row. Jayaji, thank you for joining us. Now, I know you're coming to the UK in the month of June for a wonderful tour to spread the message. But please, for those who don't know you, please tell them a little bit about you, your mission, and why.
I was fortunate enough to have been exposed to Vedanta, the Bhagavad Gita, the ancient philosophy of India, when I was very young. And it helped me in various aspects of my life, but predominantly to become happier and not get affected by the ups and downs in the world. So I then realized that people view the Bhagavad Gita or Vedanta as a sop in old age, not as a technique for living, not as a prescription for happiness. And this is largely because the texts are written in Sanskrit, a language that people are not familiar with, and just the passage of time has changed the context of the texts. So I thought I should help in sharing the wisdom of this knowledge so that other people across the world, would escape the suffering that they are going through unnecessarily. It's like when a child doesn't know that fire burns, the child puts her finger in the fire and gets burned. My role, or at least that's how I viewed it, is to tell the child that fire burns, so don't put your finger in it. It's as simple as that. And of course, alongside, to help in my own journey to self-realization. So it's a dual purpose. And I continuously try and re-present the knowledge so that it clicks with the younger generation.
I think that that's profound. And I know you speak on many different topics. I think one of the most profound things that I've come to learn about you over the years and your organization, Vedanta Vision, is the consistency and almost the relentless dedication to wanting to spread this message. Now, there are so many things that you could do. I know that you were trained as a scientist. I remember that. And, you had a scientific background. You had a wonderful career that you were already embarked upon in academia, in the circles that you were. You had many opportunities. And yet here you are living the life of, in Sanskrit, we call it vanaprastha or sannyas. That is a renounced life, a life where one is not attached or attracted to material pursuits or goals, but rather one is dedicated to educating, serving, teaching, inspiring. What drives you year after year, decade after decade? Why is it so important? My question really is, why is it so important for that 5, 6, 7, 8, 10,000-year-old wisdom of the Vedas, the Vedanta, arguably the oldest wisdom known to mankind? Why is it important for people of today to get hold of that wisdom?
You see, life is like a game. And if you want to play the game well, you need to know the rules of the game. So in life, there are rules that operate, which is called the law of karma. And if you learn the rules and you use the rules to your advantage, you will achieve three things in life. You'll be extraordinarily successful. You will achieve what we call as effortless excellence, uh, where you don't really want to, but all your actions are perfect, so you automatically gain success. You will be happy within, and you will grow to your potential.
Hmm.
Now, when you abide by the law, there are simple things that you need to learn. You need to learn, for instance, that in life, anything that gives you instant pleasure gives you pain in the end, and vice versa. That which truly gives you happiness is a little painful in the beginning. So, if you don't know that, and most people don't know that, the present generation is a generation of instant joys. Swipe right, swipe left, and you got it. But
So true. Hmm.
years down the lane, years down the road, what is going to happen to you? You don't want to think about it, but you're going to have to face it. So, what we say is you don't need to lead a painful life. All you need to do is to think before you do things so that you're not sculpting a painful future for yourself.
Right. No, I think that's wonderful. And I'm reminded of the verse in the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna makes the distinction between Shreya and Preya, that one is short-term happiness, but one sacrifices so much to get that, and they don't realize. Whereas
Yes.
longer-term happiness, that is what we should be aspiring for, but it requires austerity, it requires effort to get there, but in the end, it's glorious. So on the spirit of that, let's hone in on the subject of this particular podcast. 3 ways to self-mastery. What does the Vedanta, the Vedas, that Vedic wisdom that you represent, could you give us a little bit of a taster of how we might look at 3 steps towards self-mastery?
Yes. First of all, the need for self-mastery. Why should we have self-mastery? Because anyone who has control over your own mind automatically controls the world, becomes powerful. Now, if you directly go out into the world to try and control it, it eludes your grasp. So you are positioning yourself for failure. Instead, look within. And now, why are there 3 ways to self-mastery? Because you have 3 equipment: body, mind, intellect. With the body, you can act with the attitude of giving, serving, adding value, contributing to others, or you can act with the attitude of grabbing, wanting, desiring, profiteering for yourself. Now, most of us, ask anyone around the world, what are you working for? For my paycheck, for profit, you know? There's hardly anyone who says, I'm working very hard for others. And the concept that is there in Vedanta is loka sangraha, means for the well-being of the world. It is such a universal thought. Nowhere in Vedanta does it say you should work for only your community, only your people, only your country, only your race. Never. It says Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole universe is one family, you know? So that is something that appeals to the youth of today because they don't like this compartmentalized interest. So when you say Loka Sangraha, what happens when you expand your vision? First of all, if you want to achieve greatness, you cannot achieve greatness with a small mind. You have to first expand your mind. Think of higher things, deeper things. And that is what Vedanta gives you. So when you are, first of all, aware of all that you have received in life and are grateful for it, you develop the natural urge to give back, to pay back. How will you give? In your field of talent. You may be talented in music, in drama, in theater, in science, whatever, sport. So you say, I will work in my field, not for myself, not for profit, but for the well-being of the world. And when you work with the attitude of giving, the law is you gain. Give, you gain. Grab, you lose. So once you make this shift in attitude, then you gain self-mastery because your desires, your selfishness wanes into the background. And what takes over is your desire to help others, to contribute, to do good to society and the world. So that is one thing that happens. The other is all givers are happy. If you take a look at a child in a kindergarten school, and she comes to school one day and tells her friend, my mother has brought something for me from Spain. You want it? Have it. What's the expression on her face? She has a smile on her face. She's happy. Another child says, don't take it. It's mine. The child has a frown on the face. Right. So when you give, you're happy. You want to be happy, you must develop this attitude of giving. And you grow into a towering personality. When Nelson Mandela was asked, how is your family, by his security guard, he said, my family consists of 42 million people. What a statement. It blew my mind. If somebody were to ask you, how's your family? Who will you think of? You think of your spouse, your children, that's it. But here is a man who says the population of the country is his family. Yeah. So this is what the first way to gain self-mastery. The second is to break down feelings of hatred, feelings of otherness, feelings of separateness that we have in our minds. And these feelings of separateness, this separateness is imaginary. It's not real. When you pass a ray of white light through a prism, this is physics, not philosophy. The white light is refracted into 7 different colors. So when you view it from the other end of the prism, you see 7 beautiful colors, but they're distinct and different from each other. But you understand they have emerged from that one ray of white light. Similarly, there is oneness among us. We are all one. We see differences because we are viewing the world through the prism of your body, mind, and intellect. And then you see differences. This is mine and that is yours. You are different from me. So if you are able to rise above the differences and see we are all human beings in the end, we feel the same trauma, we feel the same pain, we are excited with the same happiness. And just feel, that's it. And that has miraculous results. Even a dog responds to feelings. You know, when a dog lover, suppose you have a pet dog and a dog lover comes to your home, the dog, your pet dog, responds so beautifully to the person.
Yeah.
So this is it. When you feel for people, you don't even need to express it. You don't need to say, I love you. They respond. And you build wonderful teams. You're successful. You're happy because when any one of the team members does well, you celebrate as if the achievement was yours.
Yours, yeah.
So your happiness increases. If you're an Indian, I keep saying, we have a distinct advantage over you because when I feel one with my country, my happiness increases 1.8 billion times. Or 1.3 billion times, sorry.
Absolutely. I think, yeah? Yes, absolutely.
And then you grow because your vision changes, your perspectives change,
yeah.
Your vision broadens.
It broadens. You look beyond. And I think That makes a lot of sense. I know for myself in the corporate work that I do, the training with leaders, leaders are always encouraged to become more inclusive. look at the value in the wins of the team. And when you celebrate the wins of one, you celebrate the wins of many. There's a very powerful thing about inclusion and seeing the perspective and celebrating others' victories.
So how do you feel one is the question? We all speak of inclusiveness, but how do you achieve that? Is when you identify with the body, with your body, you see maximum separateness. You can't feel like your child eats, your hunger can't be appeased. But when you identify with the mind, you include your family members within your area of oneness. Then the child eats, your hunger is appeased. Identify with the intellect, and you feel one with the entire country, like Nelson Mandela I spoke of, like Mahatma Gandhi, like so many people. And when you identify with the spirit in you, you see no differences whatsoever. So this is the way to inclusiveness. And the last method to gaining self-mastery is with the intellect, understanding that the world and all that it has to offer is temporary, passing, fleeting, impermanent. And in and through this, it's like it's playing hide and seek with us, the spirit. In and through this, our search is for the spirit. And I'll end this with an example, with a story. In a state, there was an old king. He was about 85 years old, and he wanted to appoint the heir to his kingdom. He didn't have children of his own. He thought he'd be fair to all the citizens. He said, I'm going to open an amusement park for a month. And during that month, I'll be in that amusement park incognito. The citizen who detects me, recognizes me first, will become the future king. They all thought it was an easy job. And they flocked to that amusement park, which was better than any Disney in the world. What happened was, yes, they knew what the king looked like. But as they went through the shows, the games, the programs that the amusement park offered, they got so involved in the amusement park that they completely forgot their mission in life was to find, their mission in going there was to find the king. On the last day, the king said, these guys are such fools. I gave them a simple job to do and they can't find me. One young man, bright, entered the amusement park. He enjoyed every ride, everything that the amusement park offered. But with one difference, he was continuously looking for the king. And as the park was about to shut, he sat there tired and said, this king is a scamster because he's not here anywhere on the premises. Just then, he heard temple bells. He looked in the direction and he saw that that was the only permanent structure in that entire ground. And he realized that was the one place he hadn't looked for the king. So he went there, and the evening aarti was going on, worship. He waited till it got over. He did not get involved even in the worship. He tapped the priest after it was over and said, turn around, my friend. And there was the king. So the message is, enjoy the world, participate in the world, interact with the world, have a ball, but never forget your mission in life, which is to find the permanent, to find the king and become the king yourself. Once you do these three, give, not take, love, not hate, look for the permanent in the impermanent, you become a master. You control your desires, you control your selfishness, and you become a towering personality.
That's so profound. The wisdom that you've captured is the essence of being able to find success, these three principles. And this is just a glimpse of what you do through Vedanta Vision, of course, through your countless talks and publications and your videos, which are available. Folks, do check out everything that appeals to you and that calls to you to what Jayaji is doing. You can check out Jaya's work at Vedanta Vision. Google Vedanta Vision and you'll find the YouTube channel, the website, the books, the publications. It's all available to you. Jayaji, I want to thank you for being with us at this very special time. And I'm wishing you the very best of success in your UK tour that's coming up. And we'll make sure that the details are there. Or if you're checking this out, please reach out to us and we will share the details. Thank you, Jayaji. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
Folks, I leave it to you. The UK tour, Jayaji, starts on, is it the 1st or the 3rd of June?
3rd of June, yes.
And you were here for about 17 days or just less slightly?
Yeah, I leave on the 19th of June. So, yes.
Folks, the tour takes place. We'll have Jayaji speak at prestigious locations and venues in London and in other parts of the country as well. We'll have I'll put something up, but if I don't, then please, if you don't see it, then please check Vedanta Vision and you'll see the tour schedule. I'm sure, Jayaji, the tour schedule will be up on your website.
That's right.
So on Vedanta Vision, you can see the UK tour schedule as well. So check out the website, Vedanta Vision, and understand more. And folks, I'd like to leave you with the invitation, of course, that there are other wonderful expositions of wisdom that can be truly applied to life. In previous episodes where I've had the pleasure of interviewing Jayaji for some very interesting topics that would appeal to you. So go check out the backlog of the Urban Spirituality podcast. You'll find that on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music now, Audible, Google Podcasts, and all the free platforms as well. Go dive in and listen to the episodes and discover more wisdom and empowerment to upgrade and uplift you in the direction that you're going for you and your family, not just your immediate family, but the world family. That's it. Namaste. Peace out. Thank you, Jayaji.